Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to this year's class of 2019 Systems Engineering graduates. Congratulations, everyone. Yes, for those who don't know me, my name is David Schneider. I'm the Director of MS Studies for System Engineer. Now, I want to start off by just saying, of course, wow, you did it. You made it. And I can say, take out a sheet of paper, put your name and net ID on it, and you don't have to do a darn thing. Yes, I know, freedom. It's fantastic. You made it. I know exactly what you're feeling about this too, because I felt it exactly the same way when I graduated. When I graduated, I felt I was done. I was finally out of it. There was no way I was ever going to go to graduate school. Not a chance. And yet, obviously, here I am as a part of this. So, one thing actually I have to say is, basically since high school, if anybody had told me over the next 5 years, this is what you're going to be doing in your life, I never would have believed them. All different kinds of opportunities, excitement, and adventures have turned up as a result. And so what I'd like to do for you all today is actually maybe give you a hint as what it is that might be coming up in your next 5 years. Yes, we're here to celebrate what it is that you have achieved now, but as your professor and many of your advisor, I feel dedicated to try to always give you guys things that I wish I would have been told better overall. So now some of you might be thinking, well, it's obvious what I'm doing next, right? I'm going to have my great career. It's all smooth sailing from this point. This is like getting my big break in Hollywood. But as someone who has actually worked in showbiz for a while, one thing I want to relate to you all is actually the important truth is, in life there are no big breaks, just milestones, major achievements, meaningful failures, all the opportunities along the way that help you to continue to learn and to grow. And so yes, we are here to celebrate a major milestone that you have achieved, but I also want you to recognize your adventure is just beginning. Now, you may have already begun to recognize certain differences or changes in the way that you think about different things, particularly with regards to your peers. I mean, not just with regards to your professional life, but actually even your friends and family members. You're finding probably already that you tend to look at problems from a different way. You've already started to say, well, if there's a problem, I'm going to start to immediately analyze in terms of what does performance really mean? What are the needs that are really being addressed here? How are people really evaluating a good solution? And therefore, you naturally begin to translate as people say, wow, they have these different thoughts and opinions on different things. What is the real reason for where these statements or ideas or people expressing things is coming from overall, right? Because we began at the beginning, right? We said when somebody asks for a car, right? They're not really asking for a car, but they have a transportation need. So I know how to better express the value that an airplane might be able to offer. Similarly, you might also even begin to recognize when a friend says, tonight I just want to stay in and watch a movie. It's not so much that that's what they're really looking for, but maybe it's actually to meet a need to decompress. Yes, maybe they actually might want to watch a movie. I mean, even Sigmund Freud said sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, right? But at the same point, we have developed kind of this way of being able to take a look at all the different kinds of needs that are being displayed and what is really going into this. But at the same time, we know enough to be able to question our findings, seek and accept new information, and then continue to reevaluate and iterate. It's like a magical part of our brain has suddenly been unlocked, and we're able to tap into. And certain solutions and concepts just become very natural for us. In fact, many times you may find that people are saying you've come up with a really creative idea. And this has happened to me many times where people say, wow, Dave, that's really creative. And I have to kind of look at them and like, really? Every once in a while I come up with something, but most of the time I'm like, really? Well, for me, because as being a system engineer, I was able to look at all these different aspects of the problem, and to me it's more obvious that this is the way we need to go. It's almost like you become like the Sherlock Holmes of engineering, that you naturally recognize that this must be the truth as a result of all the different kinds of aspects of that problem. Now, one thing I want to encourage you guys to do is to take this, though, one step further in your next adventure, particularly in today's society. When you're hearing so much about people having misconceptions and this resulting in significant intolerance of other ideas as a part of this, you guys can be a major bridge with regards to helping people to understand where these misconceptions are coming from. You guys have remarkable tools at your disposal to help with this, and you know how to talk to people in their own language to help people to recognize the value of that. I'm going to encourage you, though, to take it one step further with regards to that. Now, we talk about, thinking about we want to treat people with regards to the diversity and the person that they are, but I want you to look beyond just the normal ways we talk about diversity in terms of race and gender and even religion, but rather saying, how does a person define themselves with regards to that? Do they see themselves as a leader, as a technical expert? Do they see themselves as someone who's funny, a good cook, good at playing soccer? Whatever it might be, how they define themselves, you can use this as a way to help to communicate more effectively with them. And the world needs you right now more than ever to be able to help people to build these kinds of bridges as a part of this. So that's going to be one of the parts of your next adventure. Now, for the next part, I've developed a wonderful brief 219-slide presentation for you all, because it wouldn't be proper without it, right? And distance learning students, you can't watch me at 1.5 speed anymore. Yes, I know. So, but no, but in all seriousness, with regards to this, you are going to be pioneering new projects. You will be over and over again the people who will be recognizing the need to do things differently, whether it be from your own innovation or whether it be helping to champion other people's ideas, partnering with your team, recognizing the benefits that the whole team can be better. You are going to be at the front lines again and again in order to help push forward new ideas as a part of this. And I want you to recognize that every project you're a part of, those are all going to be the next milestones that you're going to encounter as a part of this. And hence, with every milestone, there's an opportunity for you to learn and to grow. And yes, I did say learn, because I know right now it's probably the last thing you want to hear, because again, you're done, you're out of it. And again, I felt it too, as a part of it. But a graduate degree is more than just a recognition of the mastery of the material that you have and saying that you're an expert going forward in this for all time. No, it's more of a recognition that you have the ability to continue to learn, to continue to grow and to master as a part of this. And so I have found myself, yes, when I was, particularly young in my career, man, I wanted to, had a brand new idea. I wanted to go at it with gun blazing, really hit it as a part of it. But I've recognized in retrospect that I should look at every new project as, again, a new opportunity to learn, to be more strategic in how I approach that as a part of it. And how is this going to help me to learn? I'm going to learn, again, in brand new ways that I never even recognized as a part of this. But I also want to mention, and here's the real kicker, the more innovative we are, quite often the more resistance that we will face as a result of this. Now, it's not that anybody wants to stymie innovation. Nobody wakes up in the morning with that being their desire, right, as a part of this. But they may not be able to readily understand all the reasons why we believe this is a good idea. At the same point too, we have to be respectful and say, maybe I didn't do a good enough job communicating that. Maybe that's the reason why things aren't working, or maybe I didn't understand the problem well enough myself in the first place. I need to learn. So when I get those kinds of pushback as a part of it, we always want to, again, look at this as an opportunity for us to grow again with regards to this as a part of this. And we need to continue to iterate as a part of that. And so dealing with rejection, unfortunately, becomes a natural part of what we have to do. Now, as system engineers, now we do have to quite often be at the front lines and have to deal with that the most. Now, you may have already had to deal with that, some of it in your MEng projects and things, and at work in your careers, and starting to feel this. And honestly, you've had a lot of experience probably this in your personal lives. I mean, dating is actually a wonderful teacher in how to handle rejection overall. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the first time you get your heart crushed, it feels horrible. It's terrible. It's demoralizing, right? It really hurts. But the next time that it happens, well, honestly, it feels just as bad. It feels absolutely just as bad as the first time, but you know how to handle it better. And that's what you're going to develop these skills to say, all right, great, I can, if, the first time you put forth your major project as a part of it, again, you will learn how to handle these kinds of situations and learn how to grow that much faster the next time as a part of it, as for those. Now, I also want to be honest with you that in dealing with this, at some point, as you're going through this, you are going to feel like, man, wow, I've been putting my all into this project. Why am I pushing so hard for this? Why am I investing all myself in this? is it really worth it, for this? You will question yourself at some point. I know the program here at Cornell is very challenging in itself, and so you may have even had a taste of this, maybe a strong taste of this, even throughout your program here at Cornell for this. But I want you to recognize it's something that everybody goes through as a part of this. It's just part of having to be that innovator and having to overcome these innovations. And so yes, you might feel like, maybe I just want to take that easy win of just watching TV or playing a video game or whatever it might be as a part of this. I mean, yes, we do all need that mental break, but I have to tell you, don't give up. Don't give up in what you're doing. No matter what is pushing on us, remember that we have control over what our actions will be in regards to that. In fact, it is the only thing in life that we truly have control over is our actions. So we have to make them count with everything that we're doing. In fact, when I look back at my own life for things, the only parts where I really truly find regret are those where it boils down to that I simply wasn't brave enough. I wasn't willing to do that hard thing. That not even so much of a conscious choice, but it's something that seemed like insurmountable. I can't go there. I can't do that. I had already blocked it off for myself, but I forgot the fact that I have control over my actions at any point, that I can make decisions and move forward with regards to those. Those times will happen. We're humans, but we will live to fight again as a part of this. In fact, one of the things I have come to learn and take solace in is the fact that good ideas never die. They just come back stronger. Because we learn from our mistakes, we find a new way. If that idea was really meaningful, can really make a difference, you will find a way to bring it back and make that difference with it. You can try again. You will fail again as a part of it, but you will learn and you will make that difference again overall. Now, one thing we do here actually that's fairly unique with regards to system engineering graduation is we hand out medals. For this. This is not just to be a meaningful memento for everything, but actually is a strong reminder of the fact that you have already overcome. The fact that you are here is definite evidence that you have overcome when you have been faced with adversity and challenges. You know what it takes to invest in yourself and to make that difference. So I encourage you to take that medal and don't just hang it on the wall somewhere and let it collect dust. Put it in your office, put it somewhere that has regular meaning for you. So when you are dealing with that tough situation, you can look back at what you've accomplished here and say, yes, I've done it before, I can do it again. And more so, I want you also to recognize you're a part of the Cornell family. And like family, you're always going to be a part of this family, whether you want to be or not. You're part of the family, and we're here for you. We want to help you out every way that we can. So make sure that you reach out to your colleagues as well. Reach out to us, if you need. We want to all make a difference, and we know that you guys can be a part of that. And actually, as you may recall, at the end of the course that I taught myself, the reason all of us are here is because we really do believe in you. I had said in the end of my class that I honestly believe that every single one of you will surpass my own skills in some way. You will do it. We all know you do it. That's why we've chosen this career, because we know what you are capable of and what you will do. And I honestly want you to always remember that. So with that, I again want to congratulate you so much for all that you have accomplished and done. Your next adventure is beginning in about 45 minutes. Make it count. Thank you. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage Renee.
Students, friends, family, parents, and Cornell University Systems Engineering faculty, I thank you for inviting me today to speak on behalf of the distance learning students. It has been a privilege to attend and now graduate from this program. Like all great graduation speeches, I would like to start off with a quote. Oh my, I can't believe that I just finished my engineering undergrad. I'm never going back to college. No homework or exams for me ever again. Renee Fronert, May 16th, 2016. Clearly, from the fact that I stand before you today, I went back on my word from 3 years ago. There were many decisions that I made since 2016 that led me to this moment. Some decisions were difficult. Some did not go as planned. And some were extremely successful. What I can say for sure is that the decision to pursue this degree was one of the best decisions I have ever made. Today, I want to share with you 2 lessons that I learned during my master's degree journey. The first, don't be afraid to take risks. And the second, learn and grow from those around you, especially those who are different from you. It was August 2017, 1 week before the distance learning on-campus module, starting my systems engineering graduate degree. I had moved across the country from Pennsylvania to California only 4 weeks prior, not knowing a single person. I was outside in the parking lot on the phone with my mentor, who was 3,000 miles away from me. Crying on the phone, we talked over for almost an hour about whether or not I should pursue my master's degree and if this time made sense. I was scared and felt really alone. The anxiety of school was rushing back, something that I had to battle with when I was an undergrad because I almost failed out the first semester, getting a 1.5 GPA. My mentor described that she had the same feelings when she pursued her master's degree at Cornell. She had gotten pregnant during her last semester and was not sure if she could finish. Despite all odds, she completed her degree while still having her first child. If she could do this, so could I. She told me to take a risk and lean into the degree with full force. The next week, I was on a plane here. And over the course of that week, I had made some of the strongest relationships with each and every one of you. I'd felt like I knew you forever. We got blinded by looking at the solar eclipse together, learned how someone could literally use a cardboard box in like 6 million ways, and also watched the Statler Hotel staff run through the rain to grab our rental cars. In that moment, you were my new friends and family. I did not feel scared or alone. And every day since, our relationships have only grown stronger. In this program, we learned that the highest performing teams were those that are diverse. Typically, we think of diversity as the way people look, what country they're from, or what their sexual orientation is. But diversity is so much more than just that. Diversity also exists in our training. An engineer who obtained an undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering from UCLA is going to approach a problem very differently than an engineer who obtained an electrical engineering degree from Penn State. These different backgrounds and experiences bring multiple perspectives to a problem. And ultimately, that's how, as engineers, we find the best solutions. I first began to understand the importance of a diverse team by working alongside the individuals here. There were many distance learners across multiple time zones from many different backgrounds and cultures, different ages, different undergraduate degrees, different genders, different races. Some were mothers or fathers. I even had one student, Lou, who had his first child during the middle of this semester and still is here today. My experience working with parents has carried over directly into my work life by helping me better connect with those who are parents and working. I learned the challenges of balancing work and attending a kid's dance competition, or being there for them when they're sick. This transitioned me into wanting to learn more of the challenges of the employees and the students that I work with every day. A woman of color who might spend multiple hours per day doing her hair just to fit into what is deemed appropriate in a corporate climate. A veteran who can find it difficult to connect with a civilian workplace culture that is very different than what that person is used to working. A person who wants to share their own hairstyle or dye their hair blue, but does not want to be judged by the way that they look. I connected these challenges to one of my own, as being a woman in STEM. There have been many instances where I have been the only woman in the room of 30 or more engineers. I am a program manager at Lockheed Martin Space, supporting some of the most advanced technology for spacecraft development. I strive to provide my team with the most comfortable workplace environment, having the understanding that not everyone has the same opportunities or is facing the same challenges. They are each individually amazing in their own way. Through my passion to create a positive, diverse environment for all of my team members, I have created high-performing communities that can flourish at their best and tackle the most technical difficulties of rocket science. Your career will be driven by many things: your failures, your triumphs, who you helped along the way, who you spent a few extra minutes understanding how that person works, and what they bring to the team. You will be surprised what you have learned from them and how you grew from that relationship. Now, I want to give you a challenge. I challenge you to leverage all of what you learn from this degree. Not just the technical, but the non-technical. You are not just masters of systems engineering. You are masters in time management. You are masters of working in diverse virtual teams. And I want to congratulate you. The Cornell University Masters of Systems Engineering Class of 2019, thank you. And now I would like to introduce our second speaker, Corinne Pollock, who is a systems engineering on-campus student. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. So I want to take a moment to say how grateful I am to be a part of this community and program. It's been an amazing year for me, and I'm so thankful for the professors and staff who have supported us with our academic and personal endeavors. Professor Schneider, Professor George, Professor Gao for directing our program, Professor Siri, Wes, and Steidender for all they have done to support us, our families for their support, Sherry for helping to organize our graduation, and our graduate field advisor, Marcy, who many of us have fondly named as our program mom and who cares about each and every single one of us. Thank you. So I remember on the first day of classes, we were all excited for the year ahead. We had just started meeting our classmates and had our welcome packets in hand. We headed to 5100, our first class as systems engineering students at Cornell. Dave Schneider came in and immediately filled the room with his positive energy. He excited us all with what we had to look forward to in the program and our lives beyond. Then the first slide appeared. Define systems engineering. Silence. Well, come to think of it, I didn't actually know how to define it. And no one else was jumping to answer the question either. Turns out, no one really knew exactly how to define systems engineering. Even the systems engineers themselves debate the exact definition. Well, thankfully, Dave helped to provide us with the definition. Systems engineering is the discipline of applying mathematical, scientific, and behavioral principles to system solutions to a wide variety of engineering problems, including the integration of human, physical, energy, communications, cost, logistics, management, and information requirements. Well then, I thought I understood this, but throughout my year at Cornell, systems engineering has taken on a whole new meaning for me. Systems thinking is a way of conducting your life. Any obstacle, decision, or project can be addressed with systems thinking, and it has changed the way I approach life. So much so that I decided I would show how systems engineering can be applied to anything, including delivering a graduation speech and everyday life. So, one of the first steps to perform in systems engineering is performing the customer affinity process. This process entails getting information from the stakeholders, and then categorizing it to construct an initial framework. In terms of applying this to writing a speech, there are different audience members to consider: the parents and family members, the professors and staff, and the peers. The overarching commonality between these diverse groups is that we're all here to celebrate a graduation for system engineers. So that's what I chose to write the speech about. As engineers who are used to working in interdisciplinary teams, we see how the customer affinity process applies to life. We can categorize a group of people with an overarching theme, but as you break it down to the individual members, there's so much diversity that adds a lot of value to the team. The next step as a system engineer is to develop use cases. Use cases outline the intuitive and the non-intuitive ways a user might interact with the system. Intuitively, we came here today to celebrate the achievements of our future system engineers. This speech has to summarize something meaningful about our program and leave graduates with a positive message. But systems engineering has also taught us to consider a holistic approach of looking at a system, because users may not always respond in the way you expect. For instance, this speech may serve as a brief nap for some audience members who waiting for the graduates to walk across stage. But hopefully that's not the case. In life, we have to plan for use cases because we never know what we are going to be given, and it is our responsibility to think beyond our own intentions and see the big picture in how our actions impact the world we live in. Next comes the decision matrix. The decision matrix is used for quantitative analysis. There are so many systems engineering tools that I had to use a decision matrix in choosing which ones to speak about. The tools that I chose for the speech are those that are critical to system engineering projects and that could be explained within a short time frame. In life, we know decisions are inevitable, and we make countless decisions every day. There may not always be one best decision. There can be a gut feeling about what is the right choice, but no matter all the facts and logic used, it's important to remember there's a human component to consider in decision making. The next system tool is creating test plans. I still picture in almost all of Dave's lectures, sometimes in my dreams, those long drawn out words, test early, test often. This speech was tested by having my parents, friends, and some fellow students read it over. But test early, test often applies to ourselves as well. It's important to evaluate yourself frequently and figure out methods of testing yourself to know if you're moving in the right direction. Finally, the timeline. It seems like we're always operating on different timelines. I know I certainly was as I was writing the speech. I found out that my mom and I have very different ideas of how closely one should come to the deadline of a timeline. We are given one big timeline for our life with many sub-timelines. It can get overwhelming with all the milestones we are expected to meet. Work towards your future goals, but leave room to give yourself an opportunity to discover something new. Do something you love. Timelines, like every other tool in systems engineering, are not permanent and should always be revised. Today marks the beginning of a new timeline. I'm grateful that the timeline of all of our lives have intersected here at Cornell. I'm excited to see where each of our timelines will take us in the future, and how it will forever shape what comes after us. After all, we are just one big system. Thank you, and congratulations to the 2019 class.
Good afternoon. I'm Al George, the Director of Graduate Studies in Systems, and I'm here to read the names of the people one by one so they can come up and be recognized and shake hands with Professor Gao, who's the director of the program, and other people who are here on the stage. Before we start, though, I want to say one thing. I think we need a round of applause for all of the family and friends who have supported all of you through all this time. Jennifer Abreu, Iman Irigirani, Nicole Alvarez, and this one, no, Thomas Ball, Chino Agulana, Angela Rose Baruth, Benjamin Beauchamp, John Banco, Adam Berkowitz, Maxfield Byrne, David Brown, Zachary Brown, Brendan Cavanaugh, Suamik Chatterjee, Shangwan Chin, Joanna Davis, Soumik Chatterjee, Shangwan Chin, Joanna Davis. Donish. Joanna Davis. Nicholas Didich. Daniel Donovan. Louis Ferenci. Clint Cornelius. Michael Forstman. Jesus Franco. Renee Fraunert. Jessica Goldstein Smith. Okay. Connor Hahn. Gary Herndon Jr. Melissa Holmes. Peiyan Zhang. Dylan Johnson. Nicholas Katzman. Emily Kent. Emily Laspisa. Alan Lai. Casey Levine. Ian Mattis. Sarua Mazumar. Stephen Molino. Sarah Moorhead. Megan Moscone. Kieran Pollock. John Raybold. Matthew Reed. Theodore Rice. Shreyas Renukuta. Dominic Romeo. Stephen Ryan. Disha Sani. Aditya Narayan Samat. Brian Schnabel. Richa Sarohi. Thomas Stilley Jr. Jordan Tyler. Sylvia Vudaari. Andy Wu. Aries Shaw. Yutong Zhu. Zed Yang. Qiming Zhang. Yuchuan Zhang. So now we are coming near the end of our ceremonies, honoring the hard work and the accomplishments of the graduates. But for you graduates, we do have one final requirement for you, okay? You all shall, immediately following the ceremony, go right to the back where we're going to take a group picture. There's a bunch of chairs back there where the choir would normally sit. So that's your final requirement, and you shall do it, right? Ask them what shall means later. Ask your friends and children, yeah. So, okay, let's see. There's going to be a group picture back there, so we'll take care of that. And then finally, on behalf of all of the staff and the faculty, we wish you a satisfying and rewarding careers in which you use your system's knowledge to work for a better and more sustainable world and for a better life for all people in this world, and for some of you, perhaps even beyond this planet. Thank you.